A massive thank you to VI, F1, Nat, Metal and Jonathan for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below.
Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 11 of Season 5 of the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Yesterday we head back to the Temple of Speed. It's time for Monza. Of course, a track that's held mixed emotions, I think, for us here on F1 2021. Of course, we've seen some of the highest of highs. I remember back on the Williams Road to Glory, we scored our best result of the year here of 4th place during Season 1. But then we've also seen the lowest of lows, of course. Yeah, that mechanical failure last season really did eliminate any sort of chance at the World Championship. You know, we've been consistent, never quite had the car capable of fighting for wins last year, but we sort of hung on in there. And yeah, that retirement in the Italian Grand Prix pretty much put pay to any championship hopes last year. Fingers crossed it won't do the same this season round. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live Saturday morning, of course, with all the other F2 stuff going on, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. There will, of course, be spoilers in just a moment as well. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton, though, confirmed obviously to be retiring at the end of the year there as well. So how is that going to affect things as we look towards Season 6 in the future? Still no talks about potential rule changes for the car as well, but we'll have to wait and see about that. But yeah, championship-wise, though, 8 points, the gap between myself and Max Verstappen as we head to the Italian Grand Prix this weekend. Then Lando Norris still with an outside shot at the title as well, 36 points back. But yeah, really Lando's been struggling over the last few weekends there, of course. 14th in Austria, 7th in Britain, 6th in Belgium as well there. Yeah, it really has been a rough few race weekends for our teammate Lando Norris there. But yeah, we got to try and get back on top as well. Of course, Max Verstappen 3 wins early on the year, but has yet to win since the Monaco Grand Prix. We've won 2 of the last 3 Grand Prix as well, with no lower finishing than 2nd place. Let's dive in then here to the Italian GP weekend. Right, well, here we are then, back at the Temple of Speed in Monza this weekend for the Italian GP. Fingers crossed, yeah, we can just keep it clean and tidy. You know, if we could get another win on the board, we're yet to win back-to-back Grand Prix this year, but have still got to be very careful of the curbing. Yeah, 6 rate. Why is my pedals being... Have I just lost the muscle memory suddenly, or can we just not seem to roll on the power at all on corner exits here? But yeah, we need a good solid weekend, though, trying to pick up some big points. But yeah, we just need to try and continue building up momentum just in case we do see anything go wrong in the final few races. What is going on with my pedals? It's just seemingly applying no power and then all of it. Right, well, second attempt then. Looks like we are slowly getting back to grips then with our pedals. Not too sure what that's all about, but not quite how we want to start the weekend. Purple score, though. Right, anyway, on to our tyre wear test then. We have really got to get used to this before we get into the nitty-gritty of the weekend. But yeah, these sorts of tests should be fairly simple, of course, because you can just gain so much delta down the straights. And anyway, yeah, coming towards the end then of our tyre wear tests. They're definitely not perfect, but yeah, no idea what's going on with that. We are learning to work around it, though, at the moment. I might have to have a quick fiddle with them before we get into quali. But purple score again, let's dive into qualifying. Right, well, here we are then, immediately jumping into Q2 for the Italian GP. Fingers crossed we can just keep it clean and tidy. You're going to do a banker lap on the set of the medium tyres here, but AlphaTauri are looking mighty strong this weekend. Are we going to see a repeat of the 2020 success that Pierre Gasly got around this circuit? Let's just wait and see how the weekend unfolds. But yeah, still definitely having issues with the pedals. Just trying to roll on the power on the corners of the exits. I mean, we can drive through it this weekend. It's not costing us too much, but it's just not ideal. But then again, it might be just the way the car's set up. I really just don't know. But yeah, something about it just doesn't quite feel right. Right, coming towards the end then of our first lap. Verstappen now really getting some pace in the car. There are 16.5 from the Red Bull. It's a very quick lap time as we head out the final corner. We're going to be nowhere near that. For us, it's probably going to be mid to high 18. No, it's a 19. A 19.1. That's definitely not going to be good enough. We're going to go out for a lap then halfway through the session on the tyres that I used just to make it through into Q2. Therefore, we should have a bit more of a representative banker lap ready for our final run. But yeah, Max Verstappen there, that was ferocious. Breaking at the 100-metre board down in towards turn 1 there, just scroll off so much speed through the first couple of turns. But yeah, look at that. Just on corner exit, I feel like I'm applying enough throttle and it's just not picking up on the exit of the turns. Very, very odd, but half second up already out of the first 3 corners of the lap. That's exactly what we like to see again on the brakes at about 100. Tip it in through the next chicane there, and again, it just does, I don't know whether it's just me not doing it right or what, but certainly just doesn't feel normal here on F1 2021 through the Lesmos, though we are still finding time as the lap unfolds there. 1.1 up now as we head down in towards the Ascari chicane. There's definitely a couple more mistakes still in the second half of the lap. At the 100 board again. Oh, it took a lot of curb on the way in there, but rotate it through the curbing on the way out. 1.3 up. This should be a mid to high 17. As long as we don't do anything stupid through the Alboreto curve. Where is this lap going to post us? Braking just down a little bit early actually on the brakes. But yeah, final corner having no issues rolling on the power. It is going to be a 1.5 second improvement. It is going to be a 17.6. Where does that leave me? P5. That's pretty good actually. Right, well we're going to have to go out for one last effort then in Q2 here, just in case everyone does find the pace. But I'm wondering if Max Verstappen got a bit of a toe, because he's gaining a huge amount of time absolutely everywhere, even on the likes of his teammate. And around a track like Monza, yeah, that's very, very uncommon there. Perhaps he's got a spicy engine in the back of the car instead. But yeah, we just got to go for this lap. If anything, it gives us good muscle memory heading into Q3. But yeah, just need to make sure we don't get knocked out in Q2. As again, what is that? Well, we're giving ourselves a nice little slipstream from Sir Lance Stroll as we head in towards the final corners. Let's just see if we can get it tipped in. Don't lose too much in the dirty air out of the final corner. Dirty air helped us get that one pole position to kickstart the year, but it's going to put P5 at the end of Q2, so we wouldn't have needed to finish off that last lap, but we did it anyway. Right, well, end of Q2 then. Looks like Verstappen the only man down into the 16s there. 4 tenths clear of Charles Leclerc there and 6 tenths ahead of Carlos Sainz. Yeah, feels like the pace isn't very consistent though from a lot of drivers so far. Lando barely making it through into Q3, and yeah, Sergio Perez down in 8th. No major surprises though out in Q2, apart from Yuki Tsunoda I suppose, down in 15th place there, but Mercedes have just had no pace this year. Let's dive into Q3 and see where we can put this thing. Right, first lap of Q3 coming up then, let's just see. We can try and put this thing provisionally on the grid there. Definitely feel like we've got a lot of pace still to try and attack with the car, but yeah, can't help but feel just that little bit out of touch with it. Just through these first couple of chicanes. Basically, I just listen to the engine, and again, yeah, it just doesn't feel like you can put the power down in the way I normally would there. Doesn't feel like you can sort of roll the engine, keep the turbo spooled. Obviously, not really the same as you were back in the 80s, but yeah, still keeping the turbo spooled is absolutely key. Oh, nudging the wheel on the grass there, really trying to open up our run through the second chicane. Compromises being able to put down the power on the exit. Through the Lesmos we go, tip it in, 4th gear there just to get the rotation. Then back up to 5th on the exit as Guan Yu Zhou sets an 18.0 there. We get very, very close to the gravel though on the exit of the second part of the Lesmos. So as we head down in towards the Ascari chicane, where are we going to try and launch this thing through? Tip it in. Oh, running very, very wide there. Having to attack the curbs through the second part. That unsettles the car. I think that was... is that one of the Ferraris going up into fastest? Sergio Perez now unleashes the pace of the Red Bull. They're down into a 16.7. So we're certainly not going to be able to get anywhere near that. But out of the final corner through the Alboreto curve, where are we going to be at the end of this first run? It's going to be a 17.4. So not bad actually, as Lando's found more pace. Sainz currently fastest there as Hamilton now goes quicker. We need to get down towards a 16 surely. Right, last chance then to try and get a good qualifying lap in here. We're not giving ourselves much time left on the clock. And you can see at the moment we're down to 8th place. So we need to try and get this lap hooked up. Many, many drivers now down pretty much around the 17 flats. But we've got to hope all these lapped cars as well, or slower cars even I should say, are going to jump out of the way there. Sweat mode though definitely going to be needed on this final lap of qualifying. Bit deep through turn 1 and couldn't quite put the power down through turn 2, but we're still in the green. taking way too much curb through the first Lesmo. It's costing us. Oh, and then way too wide on the exit as well. Somehow, because of course we got such a bad run first time around, we haven't lost any more delta. We need to nail Ascari if we want to save this lap.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
I said I had to nail Ascari and I was never willing to lift on the exit. Oh, dearie me. I don't think it's going to push us any further down the order there. Of course, everyone else had finished their runs. But you can just see take a bit too much curb. It unsettles the rear. You clip the curb, try to save it. And like I said, it was always going to keep you footing on the exit there. And that is a nasty, nasty shunt to finish off qualifying. Like I said, not going to compromise anyone else's run, but gutted with the way that's ended there. Really, yeah, not happy with myself. We were only about a 10th up, so not too sure how many more places we could have had. But that's not the way we wanted to end qualifying this weekend. Just goes to show how hard we're pushing to try and get this thing working and to get everything out of the car.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Perez, Verstappen and Carlos Sainz. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Well, I think at the very best then we might have been able to go P6, maybe P5, depending on how well we did nail the lap there. But Sergio Perez on pole position for the Italian Grand Prix ahead of Max Verstappen. I'm sure they're going to work together down towards turn 1. We need Lando fighting with those guys this weekend, and we need to be brave on the opening lap so we can't let the Red Bulls run away. Let's dive in then here to the Italian Grand Prix.
We're now just a few weeks away from the F1 2022 winter testing, and the F1 store has released all new lines celebrating the 2022 Chinese New Year. First of all, we've also now got the 2022 McLaren fanwear drop has finally been revealed. There's still different merch available from every team, and now there's 20% off any lines on the store as well if you use the code currently on your screens. Click the links down below if you want to go check it out.
It's time for the Italian Grand Prix once again, here at the beloved and iconic Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. With the lowest downforce and drag of any circuit in the season, expect to see drivers making the most of the slipstream effect here today. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest circuit in F1. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6 mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some closer action. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Let's talk about Mr. Monaco. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Norris, Pierre Gasly and Hamilton, Leclerc, Mr. Monaco, Bottas and Esteban Ocon, Russell, Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda and Mazepin, Islet, Latifi, Antonio Giovinazzi and Guan Yu Zhou. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Schwartzman, Ricciardo, Lundgaard and Mick Schumacher. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Well, I said last weekend how how Spa even would be damage limitation. Who knows, therefore, what this race weekend is going to hold here in Monza. But fingers crossed we can get a nice clean start, head down to turn 1, keep it clean, keep it tidy, and then maybe try and look to move our way up through the order here. We know we've got pace in the car. We've just got to be really, really careful with that loud pedal still. And yeah, fingers crossed today can go our way. Nice clear dry track, soft to medium. You know, Monza's not particularly straining on the tyres either. The Temple of Speed returns though once more in F1. Waiting on those 5 red lights, and it's gonna be Lights out, and away we go. And have to be really, really careful there that we don't wheel spin or that we actually get away as we head down in towards turn 1, losing a couple of places. Russell, tries to come across me there, but as we head into the first braking zone, they're going to be really, really aggressive on the brakes. Valtteri Bottas on the exit there, just getting really all aggressive against us, as Russell's going to be able to go back around the outside once more. So yeah, not quite the start we would have wanted. Down into 10th place here off the start of the GP. Are we going to be able to have a look back up the inside of Russell? Or we thought about it, but George having none of that. So we'll have to sit back and fight this battle another day as we head through the middle sector on this opening lap. Yeah, got to try and get used to the muscle memory all over again there. And of course in the dirty air, I have ran quite a high aero setup this weekend, just in case we were going to have to sit in the dirty air of other cars. Wasn't expecting us to be able to put it on the front row of the grid, really focusing on trying to make sure this car is as racy as possible there as we attack the same curb that cost us right at the end of qualifying yesterday. But George Russell, yeah, 5 tenths clear as we come towards the end of lap 1. Is Perez still leading? Has Max Verstappen been able to make the move work? Has the Red Bull formation already come into fruition there? Yes, it has. Verstappen leads at the end of lap 1 as his main title rival sits down in 10th. Can we gain on Russell back down towards turn 1? We're gaining on the Aston Martin, man. And Ricciardo, eat your heart out. Big send through turn 1.
Good job, nice overtake.
Somehow just about got it slowed down there, and it was a clean move. And we're now back up into 9th place, but still, yeah, really struggling to roll on the throttle. Coming towards the end of lap 3 now. DRS, of course, has been enabled. And we're trying to stick close to the back of Valtteri Bottas. Tip it through the Alboreto curve, roll on the power once more on the exit, and look at the way the McLaren picks up off the corner. Are we going to be close enough though once we get the DRS? New fast lap of the Grand Prix.
Fastest lap of the race so far.
So we have definitely got some good pace in the car. Looks like we've got a Ferrari and Hamilton going side by side. As what is that from Valtteri Bottas there, moving around in the braking zone? We get a warning for a collision when he quite clearly moved around into the corner there. The tiniest bit of front wing damage. That shouldn't cost us too much though. I think Bottas has definitely given us some damage here, more than the game is willing to let me know, because we are really struggling to get the car tipped in through the corners there. To turn in really early now. Not too sure what's going on as Bottas, yeah, just completely flew past me. Back down in towards the Ascari chicane there, so we just couldn't get roll on the powers. Yeah, look at that. That should not be a car with a tiny bit of front wing damage there. It reckons, yeah, it is only minor front wing damage, but it's costing us masses as we head through the right hand turns, which of course is basically every corner on this lap. What are we meant to do? Don't think there's really a lot we can do at the moment. I think we're just going to have to box and change the front wing. It's just costing us so much. We can't even keep up with Valtteri Bottas there, as I'm not happy with the fin. That little move in the braking zone has just cost us a huge amount potentially in this Italian Grand Prix there. Really now we need a safety car if we want to try and recover anything from this GP. So many issues throughout the entirety of this weekend so far, and like I said, we just can't seem to catch a break for more than one race weekend in a row in the My Team series there. And you can see, yeah, getting the new wing onto the car, it's going to put us right back down at the rear of the field. Come on, 8.5 second stop is not what we need. Yeah, like I said, we need a safety car here to save us in this Grand Prix.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Monza, please stop delivering me heartbreak on F1 2021, I beg.
Gap to car in front is 10.2 seconds.
Well, that's reassuring then. We have set a new fastest final sector of the Grand Prix, so when we can get it hooked up, it is still looking pretty good, as yeah, really just struggling now. I think I've sorted me pedals. I think there was just a little problem on the throttle, but now of course we're dragging a bit too much throttle through the corners because we were obviously trying to get the car on the power again. So yeah, I'm slowly getting back used to it and now feeling a bit more comfortable, but yeah, going to be a long old race I think. Damage limitation, and yeah, praying for a safety car. We might still be able to squeak some points away, however. Oh, there we go. Lando into the pits.
Lando in the pits.
We're definitely not going to be ahead of our teammate there, as he's actually coming rather early as well in this Grand Prix, so not too sure what's going on there for Lando Norris. Yeah, we're still just trying to take really quick lines through as many corners as possible. How far behind Lando are we going to be? Problem is, of course, he's got Pierre Gasly as a rear gunner. Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen there, so he's trying to help them out at the moment. As Lando's going on to hards, so not too sure what our teammate's doing, but he's way out in front of us. And I mean, a good sort of, what, 11, 12 seconds?
These tyres need to last till the end of the race.
Yeah, going to be about 12 seconds pretty much on the nose. So we are way behind Lando Norris at the moment, and that's not very reassuring.
Caution, caution.
Oh, yellow flag's out. Lando Norris already then with issues.
Incident in the next part of the track.
What has he done there? He's completely spun. He must have walloped the inside curbing and has completely put himself to the rear. So now, it's like being back in the Season 1 car. Last and second to last for 2-2 Motorsport's Constructors' Championship leaders. This is turning into a nightmare weekend.
The safety car is out.
Why have we got a safety car?
Pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track.
I'm guessing we've had an Alpine breakdown by the looks of it. What has gone on? I can't quite see what's happened, but Esteban Ocon is going down the front straight backwards. What has happened to Esteban? How has he ended up there? That is very, very strange. From the Alpine, I mean, it's defaulting straight back to us afterwards, so I'm guessing he's out. But very, very strange moment in this Grand Prix, and now that means we should be able to pit back onto another set of mediums here, and we might be back in the race. One person this does completely screw, of course, is our teammate Lando Norris, who's only just boxed. But a lot of other cars then moving on to hard tyres. So we might have a chance now if everyone else is going to go on to hards. 2.1 second stop. I mean, it doesn't really matter what stop we get. We're going to be last place anyway. But yeah, very, very weird scenes coming from the Italian GP.
We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. The safety car is waiting.
So Ocon then is not out of the Grand Prix, but he's certainly been pushed right back to the rear of the field. Is it worth pitting onto a set of soft tyres with just one lap left under safety car here? I'm wondering if it is. And just then taking a huge strategy gamble. Trying to have the pace slice and dice our way back through and then hang on late on in the Grand Prix. Can soft tyres surely can do, yeah, half a Grand Prix here. I think it might be worth the gamble. Right, out of the final corner then, yeah, we may as well take the gamble. We're not going to lose out much by doing so this weekend. Calls for a bold strategy there, and we're going to go soft tyres for the remainder of the GP. They've had one lap of qualifying on them, which is alright. I'm tempted, yeah, we're just going to up the front wing to 6 as well, just so we have got that little bit more through the corners. Feel like top speed is still not going to slack. 1.9? Thank you very much, team. There we go, that's what we love to see. But yeah, now we've got to be brave during the second half of this race.
One stop left.
Nope, no stops left yet. We're gambling. Safety car is not coming in then at the end of the... Oh, there we go. Very, very late call. I was just about to say, we may as well pit again.
To temperature, and remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
Well, safety car's in then at the end of lap 13 as we got to try and judge the run on Schwartzman. Oh, we almost did if we kept the foot in there. We might have been able to make that work, but very, very hectic restart then. Here in the Italian Grand Prix, we've immediately got a good run on Robert Schwartzman. Going to force our way to the inside. Oh, there's lots of contact though. What's going on? Mick Schumacher's made up like 8 places down in towards turn 1 there. We've been turned in on, as I think we're 3 wide on the exit of the corner there. But carnage back down into turn 1 off the restart. As everyone trying to make moves, everyone trying to go defensive. We've got an Alfa Romeo with, I'm guessing, next to no front wing as we head down in towards the next chicane there. That is Antonio Giovinazzi. And this is just costing Lando Norris and myself time at the moment as we try and roll on the power on the exit of the corner. Come on, Lando. You've got to be better than this, mate. Up the inside we go on our teammate. We're just losing so much time. Come on, Giovinazzi, get out of the way, man. How can Lando not make a move work on the Alfa Romeo there? As we're going to try and give our teammate Lando Norris a slipstream if he moves to the outside. Oh, my God. Almost put it in the wall ourselves. But, yeah, it was a decent restart on the one hand. I mean, we're back up into P17. But, yeah, we're still not quite as close to the cars in front as I would like. But of course they're all on hard tyres, so we might now just be able to pick cars off one by one. Mick Schumacher in his Haas there clearly hasn't got the same amount of grip as us. Fastest car, or one of the fastest cars in F1 versus the slowest. And to the outside then of Mick Schumacher. No DRS enabled of course just yet, but there is a big train of cars that extends right back up to the front. Now into P16 once more. Latifi in his Williams up next there as we head out of Ascari. You can see how much we're pushing at the moment. But yeah, I think the key now is just try and pick cars off one by one later on in this race. Max Verstappen is out in front with feet. Oh no! Why?
DRS is offline. The rear wing is down, so you can stay out while we work on a fix.
To be honest, I think it'd be rather if it was up.
DRS is now online.
Still able to run around the outside of the Williams in towards T1, but that is so frustrating. No DRS to assist us over the next few laps here, and we might be a bit of a sitting duck once we have made moves work. Callum Ilott, though, pulling moves on Guan Yu Zhou. You love to see that from the young Englishman. See if we can try and get a run on the pair of these guys, but with no DRS, it's going to be very difficult to do so there. Guan Yu Zhou slow off the exit of the corner, but he's going to have the DRS, and we simply are not on Callum Ilott here. You can see just how aggressive the AI are going with each other, though. As to the outside of the Williams on the grass on the way in. We take a bit too much curb there, but somehow we get it slowed down. Guan Yu Zhou has pulled away masses from all of that there, but all over the outside of Ilott on the grass. That was a very brave move, and we're back up into P14. That's just how much we need every single move as quickly as possible in this race. 11 laps to go here from the Italian Grand Prix. Guan Yu Zhou still really struggling on the exit of the chicane. What is the AlphaTauri driver doing there? It felt like he brake checked me on the exit of the corner, but he's still got the DRS off the cars in front. As we head back through the Ascari chicane, we've got so much more grip through the twisty bits. And then when there's no DRS, we've got to try and deploy as much battery as we possibly can there. To the outside of the Chinese driver as we head down towards the final turn. Really late on the brakes there. Swoop in across the front of the AlphaTauri, and we do make the move work. As now all over the back on Nikita Mazepin. I can see the points just a little way up the road. He's got DRS as well, though, and that Alpine is no slouch down the straights. Oh, now the DRS is back then. Absolutely perfect timing. As to the outside of Mazepin we go. And we're now back up into P12 then of the race. We'll have the DRS on Ricciardo in just a moment. And thank you very much, therefore. That reliability issue didn't last for the rest of the race like it did at Spa. Of course, it didn't matter then, though, because we didn't have any DRS. Right, are we going to be able to get a run then on Daniel Ricciardo as we head back down in towards Ascari? Look at the speedo climb, well over 220 miles an hour. Not quite close enough this time to go for a move. If we get a good run on the exit, however, we might be able to get something done as we head down in towards the final corner once more. Want to see if we can try and be cheeky and get the DRS on Daniel Ricciardo and, of course, pull off the move. Going to be very close here as around the outside we go. Have we been able to nail that? Or did we just get around the Australian just that little bit too early at the final corner? No, we didn't get the DRS there.
Second faster than the car ahead. Keep this up.
Second of a lap faster than Lance Stroll up the road, though. And that train of cars extends right up to Perez in P2. Max Verstappen has checked out at the front, but this race is not over.
Pit window open. Let's box this lap.
T1 is back in the pits. We can see the tyres only at 26% wear at the moment, as the gap to Lance now down under 2. But yeah, we just got to try and get back within that DRS range and keep picking these cars off. I think today, though, it might be a question of not having enough laps to get back up to where we want. As yellow flags out, that is someone behind us. That's Daniel Ricciardo out of the Grand Prix there. And of course, after his win in real life, I'm sure, yeah, not happy with that result. Is that going to bring out another safety car, though? This could potentially change up the race a little bit. I don't think it is. Finally now got the DRS on Lance, but we're not going to close up massively back down towards Turn 1. Of course, all these guys in a huge DRS train. Again, I think a lot of these battles are going to be won on the brakes rather than the loud pedal. And that might be very difficult to do. We're going to give it our best shot, though. Well, come on, we can still... Every position gain now is massive help in the championship. As yellow flags out, of course, for Ricciardo's stricken car.
There's a yellow flag ahead.
It's not really the best place to leave it. You know, I reckon in real life that probably would have been a safety car, or at least a VSC. Gaining on Sir Lance once more, but as we head in towards the final chicane of the lap, I suppose, Ascari, are we now going to be able to put the power down on the Aston Martin and move ourselves back up into the points of the Italian Grand Prix? Oh, Stroll tries to move around a bit there, but we're not taking any second chances. To the inside we go. Roll on the power on the exit, give him the run around the outside of the Alboreto curve, and we're now finally back into the top 10. Had a terrible day so far, but we're going to get DRS on Tsunoda, who hasn't got it on Bottas up the road. And round the outside we go of the Mercedes, like he's standing still. So much extra braking performance as well, of course, on the softer rubber. Now into 9th. Just see this almighty train of cars just up in front. There is an Alfa Romeo that's going to get blue flags on all of us rather soon, but just look at the extra grip we've got on the exit of Ascari here. Are we going to get close enough to Bottas down in towards the final corner? I don't think we are this time. Can we roll on the power though on the exit? Slow in, fast out. Really try and launch ourselves towards the gearbox of the Husky chocolate liveried car. That's DRS enabled. New fast lap of the day. Bottas, you better not move again in the braking zone, otherwise we are going to have a proper fight after this race. Oh, George Russell's broke early. Oh, Bottas and I both down the inside of George Russell in towards turn 1 there. That was not the move I had in mind, but we'll absolutely take it there. Russell loses 2 places in one go. Lundgaard does move out of the way as well there, as we're now just over a second behind Carlos Sainz, but that all got a bit close for comfort down into the chicane there. As look at this battle going on just in front. Perez hanging on for dear life here as we need redemption. 4 laps to go, and looks like Perez is under pressure from Pierre Gasly in towards turn 1 there, fighting each other hard, and this is giving everyone else behind them just that little chance to get just that bit closer at the moment. Tyre wear, it's only on 40%, so yeah, we have absolutely nailed this strategy call to go back onto soft tyres. These should absolutely make it to the end of the race with no real issues there. As you can see, Carlos Sainz, the Spaniard, just navigating his way through the chicane. But yeah, we've got to try and pick these guys off, but it's getting very, very difficult as these cars pace not too far away from our own. And of course these tyres just starting. So not quite give up just yet, but certainly not quite supplying us with the same amount of grip advantage we've had earlier on in the race. Team still saying the tyres are looking good. And you see we do gain a bit in the braking, but normally, yeah, super aggressive through Ascari. That time around we just couldn't stick close as Sainz actually got a really good run. He might be able to challenge Hamilton now down in towards the final chicane there. I don't think he is, as we need to try and get a run on the exit on perhaps the pair of them here. Tip it in, or way too low on the gears through the final corner, but can we roll on the power nicely once more? Yes, we can. Activate the DRS as we head down towards turn 1. Hamilton aware of it though, he's going defensive on Carlos Sainz. Are they both going to sit on the inside? There's nowhere for us to go in towards turn 1. There is big lockup through the first corner. Can we roll on the power nicely on the exit though and maybe get a run on Sainz? Wheel spinning our way out of the first chicane there, and we are going to get gaining on the Spaniard to the outside. Look at the run we've got on Carlos Sainz here. We absolutely need to pull this move off. Hamilton's going to box us in slightly, but round the outside through the second chicane we go. 3 laps of racing to go, and we're now up back into P6 of this race. What more is going to be possible? Activating the DRS now, 2 laps to go of the Italian Grand Prix, and Hamilton, he goes defensive again, back down in towards turn 1, but deep on the brakes, round the outside we go, and we do now move up into P5.
Nice overtake.
Team happy with that again, as now Leclerc, Pierre Gasly and Sergio Perez are all fighting it out for P2 in this race. Verstappen's gone, he's clear up the road, miles in front in this race. We said he hasn't won a race since Monaco, but he has come back this weekend and absolutely shown everyone how it's done and sent a clear message of intent to myself as well. But yeah, we've just got to try and navigate these final couple of laps and just see if any sort of opportunity opens up here. These tyres are still giving us some good grip. Like I said, we still gain a lot down through Ascari, but I think what we need is Perez and Gasly to really trip over each other, as Pierre will try to defend back down towards turn 1 and hope that Leclerc and I can try and gain. Running again wide on the exit of Ascari there. That's cost us a little bit of time down in towards the final corner, but who is going to come out in front Max Verstappen sneaks away fastest lap point away from myself there as well by just 1/10 of a second. What championship implications might that have as we roll onto the final lap then? Here from the Temple of Speed, is Perez going to be able to get the run on Gasly once more? Yes, he is. Gasly goes defensive. Back down in towards turn 1. Myself and Leclerc, all we can do is sit back and watch at the moment. As has Perez pulled off the move? I don't think he has this time round, as we've just got to be super, super careful on the accelerator there. Leclerc, though, looks like he might get a bit of a run on Perez as we head up in towards the second chicane. And I just want to be brave all round the outside of Charles Leclerc. Thank you very much. How will we pull that off? Leclerc really struggling through the chicane there. And we'll say thank you very much. No second chances at trying to pull off the move there. But down in towards the final few corners of the Italian Grand Prix. Somehow that's one move I never expected us to be able to make on the final lap of this GP there. Gasly on hards. Perez on mediums. We're on softs. Just a few more corners to go of the Italian Grand Prix there. We were massively, massively wide through Ascari. I think the tyres are just slowly giving up here. Is Perez going to be able to get a run on Pierre down in towards the final corner? Max Verstappen wins the Italian Grand Prix. It looks like Gasly is going to hold on for P2, but 8th on the grid, last early on in this Grand Prix. We've had another brilliant recovery, and I can't be happier than that.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
They made great use of the clear air today then and didn't allow anyone to exploit the slipstream behind them. What a great win here at Monza. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Max Verstappen's excellent result today sees him take over as leader of the Drivers' Championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. Look at where they finished compared to where they started. It's not easy to cut through the field like that in Formula 1, so it was a great effort.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula 1 action soon.
Well, it's safe to say we've certainly had a couple of interesting races over the last couple of weekends, but still, the gap to Max Verstappen ebbing and flowing either way there. Verstappen will reclaim the championship lead, but to be honest, after all the issues in qualifying and early on in the race, we will absolutely take P4 there in the end. Verstappen did take the fastest lap as well. 26 points to him means he gains 14 from this weekend there. Gasly P2, another podium for the Frenchman there ahead of Sergio Perez and myself. Charles Leclerc 5th ahead of Hamilton, Sainz, Bottas, Russell and Lance Stroll means Aston Martin get both cars back up into the points there. But yeah, championship-wise, Verstappen 6 points clear in front once more. Lando Norris, he's just had so much bad luck and poor results in recent weeks. Now 54 points back with just 5 races to go of the campaign there. Gasly now up into P4 of the championship as well. He could very easily overtake Lando Norris by the end of the year there. Charles Leclerc gets relegated to 5th. Perez jumps Sainz and Tsunoda with that. Another good result from the Mexican there. You can see no other movers further down the order. Constructors-wise though, Red Bull, yeah, big gains this weekend there. Now the gap down to 18 points at the front as we head in towards the final few races of the year. We need good results. We need Lando Norris fighting back at the front. Next weekend out, though, we're back at one of the best tracks historically for 2-on-2 Motorsport. It'll be back for the Singapore Grand Prix, of course, where Lando took his first race victory for the team as well. But thank you all so much for watching this video, and as always, for the continued support here on the channel. If you have enjoyed and you aren't already, please do make sure you get yourself subscribed. And yeah, we'll be back very, very soon, ready for the Singapore Grand Prix. You guys do not want to miss that.
None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.